It's okay if you want to. A show for business, artistic, and talented entrepreneurs. I'm your host, June Middleton. We have a very interesting show this evening. We're focusing on a nonprofit organization that works with and helps women that are going into crisis situations or coming out of them or have actually graduated from them. The organization called ReFocus works with women, providing them with a supportive environment to help them become productive members of their community. I am pleased to have as guest on the show this evening, founder and executive director of ReFocus, Pastor Martha Melvin.
Thank you.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
This is just, it's just a pleasure to have you. And if you don't mind, I'm going to call you Martha.
Yes.
Okay.
I'll call you too.
Absolutely, absolutely. And now you're the founder and executive director of this incredible organization. And tell us what ReFocus does.
ReFocus help women to go back into society as productive citizens. They reclaim their life greater than it was before after leaving ReFocus.
And how did you learn? I mean, this is a show that really, I know that religion is a big part of your organization.
Yes.
But this is a show that really focuses more on business. And because everything, even though you might have a belief that pushes you into doing something, you had to have some kind of vehicle to get you there.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's business. And I mean, it's just, I have had people who run their own church in Harlem on the show, and the thing that was interesting to talk about was, how do you run a church? What happens after the service? And also, too, how did you get started? How did you get into that position? And I'm very curious to know, and I'm sure our viewers are as well, is how did you start ReFocus? And the way that you put it, how did you give birth to this organization?
Well, I didn't know I was starting a business. I was just so joyful on my own deliverance from crack cocaine. And
are you saying that you were once addicted?
Yes.
And here you sit now.
I sit now
on television show.
Yes.
Talking about how you're helping other people.
Yes.
This is incredible.
Yes. So I did give my life to the Lord, and that was my transitioning into the birth of ReFocus. So not knowing that I was going to be an entrepreneur, not knowing that I was going to start a program. I was just so grateful and just wanted to help people. But as you said, it did become a business, because after that...
It is a business.
It
you
is
have
a business.
Employees.
Yes.
You raise money.
Yes.
You have to decide where that money goes.
Yes. It's a business.
Yeah. A very difficult business, because you have a not-for-profit organization. That's one of the... it's called an entity, like a corporation or a limited liability company. It's one of the most difficult forms of business to have.
Yes.
Because you have to report to everybody, including the Lord.
That's right.
Okay?
That's right.
So
that's right. You have to keep your business in order.
Yes, you
Yes.
do. Yes, you do. So how did you know? Did you have guidance?
I
or
did.
someone
Well,
telling you, you should form it as non-for-profit?
Yes. At first, I went to the library. It wasn't, computers wasn't that popular as it is today. I didn't know how to use computers. I went to the library and I began to study about grant writing, nonprofit, and then speaking with some people that led me in the right direction. So the start of it is what I believe with every business, that you should start up making yourself legal and making sure that you're in order with everything that's required of you.
You sure sound like an entrepreneur to me.
To have
This is great.
Yes.
This is wonderful. Did you write a business plan?
Yes, I did. I wrote a proposal, what I proposed to do in the community around the people that I'm going to serve,
Did you have difficulty getting started? I mean, did you have any naysayers of saying, listen, you can't do that? And
yes.
Okay, because this happens to business people all the time.
Yes, because of who I was. They were still looking at me as the person that was an addict. They was looking
tell
at
us
me
a little bit more about whatever it is that you'd like to share with us. What life was like for you before you decided to help others who were possibly trying to come out of the situation that you came out of.
Well, to bondage. And I knew I wasn't created to live the life that I was living. And as we will hear on the show from others, it all stemmed back to my childhood, from birth. My issues that caused me to become an addict. So
did you come from a large family, or was there
quite large? I'm like I'm the third child, the middle child. So quite large. So anyway, a lot of things happen in life. Molestation at birth, pregnancy at an early age. Bad marriage, a lot of things happened during that time. But I wouldn't want to do it over again. But if I become who I am today, then I would do it again. You know what I'm saying? But because of what the Lord has done in my life, and changed my life and have given me new direction.
And I mean, your experience is what you can share with others to help them.
Yes, and you only can take people where you have been. You only can bring people out of what you have come out of. Well,
there was a famous philosopher who said, in order to move ahead, you have to, and not to repeat what has happened.
That's right.
You have to remember your history.
Yes. You have to
learn
remember
from it and grow with it.
Yes, and that's what keeps me every day. I remember what I came out of. And to say that, I end up going to a program such as the one I have, faith-based program, and that was there where I learned.
Now, was that here in New York?
In Connecticut.
In Connecticut. Has Connecticut always been your home?
Yes. My family migrated from North Carolina to Connecticut.
So it really, in one instance, I mean, if you had actually stopped to study what you were doing, you might not have done it. It sounds like you just
never
forged ahead. You got into that 18-wheeler at the bottom of a hill and decided you were going to drive it up.
Yes. That's what happened.
And that is fantastic. That is fantastic. And one of the great things that about you being here this evening is that you have people here with you who are currently in the program, who had come through the program, and who are helping with the program.
Yes, we've been established. We started establishing the program in 1999. That was doing all the legal work, the 501c3, tax exempt, and it was a blessing that I got it all done pro bono.
Congratulations on that.
Because
all I can say is you go, girl.
I was one of the homeless people.
Gosh.
I never understood it. I was homeless myself, and here God is telling me to start a home and help others as He had helped me. I'm like, this makes no sense. But I'm going to follow the lead. Nevertheless.
Don't spend too much time dwelling on what you have done, because you'll scare yourself.
Yes.
You're trying to figure out, how did I do that?
Yes.
How did I do that? And I know that, what was your first funding? Was it private contributions, or did you?
Yes. Our first funding was private. And,
was it through the church, or just
the church?
Going around with a hat in your hand?
That came together in the city of Bridgeport to help me. They believed in the vision that I had. And they came together, maybe 7 pastors. And
Fantastic.
also, yeah.
Yeah.
Pastor,
Well, I want to
my
come
bishop.
back to learn more about the organization, but first let's meet and talk to other guests that you
Yes,
have been
yes.
generous enough to bring with you.
Yeah.
And Glenda, welcome to the show, and let's
hi.
start with you. Are you originally from where? Brooklyn?
Yes, Brooklyn.
And how long have you lived in Connecticut?
I've been in Connecticut since 1999.
Oh, when the program started.
Yep, she's one of the
Now,
first.
how did you learn about ReFocus?
I came from Brooklyn. My daughter actually called one of my family members that lives out in Connecticut, lives in Naugatuck, and they've been coming back and forth to New York, wanting me to come out of Brooklyn to get my life on the right track.
Brooklyn wasn't agreeing with you, was it?
Nah, I was running. I was in and out of incarcerated, on drugs.
Well, you know, you were kind enough to share some things with me, and you have really had an incredible background, and to think that things that you were challenged by, and that you're a survivor.
Yes.
I think that it would be nice, whatever it is that you'd like to share with us some of the experiences that you had, and at what point did you say, okay, that's it, enough, let's get something going here, let me get my life back. How did that, was there some specific turning point? What were some of the things that you had been going through?
First, growing up was really rough for me because I didn't feel normal. At the age of 4, I can say that I had this pigmentation that came on my skin that I was not born with. So as coming up, it was rough. I had a lot of name callings, and people always
Self-esteem.
stared.
And something that I know somebody who was a very prominent politician in Harlem who had that same kind of skin condition, and it totally turned him completely almost white. And it's not that unusual among African Americans. I mean, did you ever get a diagnosis, or did anyone ever really talk to you about it, or so that you didn't
No,
feel
it was,
stigmatized because of it?
As a child at the age of 4, it was like devastated because to me, I always thought water can kill everything. So it was in the summertime and I was playing. All of a sudden, I went back into my home. My skin was itching, so I got in the tub thinking that it can go away. When I realized that it wouldn't go away, plus it's on my legs too. As coming up as a child, my eyes was white. I had a lot of names, White Eyes, Spotted Joe. So all the torment and the abuse came from my siblings, because it was each one of them, because I come from 12, I made 12. My brothers, it was 8 of them. They all had different names for me. And
it's something like what some of the children from West Africa are going through now.
Yes.
Being called Ebola instead of by their proper names.
Right.
Only because people don't understand
Yes.
a situation, and because as a child, you don't know how to react to it,
Right.
so it can have a devastating effect on your life.
Your self-esteem.
But, I mean, here you said looking lovely.
Yes,
Thank you.
beautiful. I just shared that with her.
Yeah.
And,
beautiful.
it really, my self-esteem was low. It kept me in a bash. Like a lot of times, I used to summertime. My relatives used to say, "Why you walk around with all them hot clothes?" Because I didn't want to show my skin. Because when I used to go out, it bothered me when people really stared. But my most pain was my mom's, because she always took me to doctors to try to see was there a cure. So I'm also into writing. I want to write a book about it and tell about the disease, because a lot of people is not educated about the pigmentation of the skin. It was also the same thing that Michael Jackson had, because those was the options that they gave my mother. The only way they could get rid of it if I went in a bubble, but unfortunately we didn't have the money. So when I got pregnant with my first child, I was like, "Oh, my kids want to have it," and the doctor was like, "No, you're fine." So after going incarcerated is when I really got comfortable with it, because when I went to jail for shoplifting, I always used to be the first one in the shower area, the last one. So one day, a group of girls that I was with, they was like, why you always gotta be the first one in the shower or the last one? So they all stood by the shower area, and then when they pulled the curtain and I came out, they was like, they used to call me Gigi. They was like, Gigi, oh my God, why are you hiding your body just because you have, marks? So then one of the ladies, she was like, well, everybody got something wrong with them. So after that, I was able to come out that badge of not being afraid of who I was. But
I must apologize. I'm not hearing you as well as I'd like to. So if you could just talk to me a little louder, please.
so after coming out incarcerated, I came out of my shell. So then my mother gave me away when I was little. My godmother raised me, but I always knew my biological family. So when I went back to live with my mother at the age of 12, it's like all hell broke loose.
I'm losing you again. Talk to me louder.
When I went back to live with my mom's, it's like all hell broke loose. Because I was used to this, me and my godmother. Now I got to go back with all these siblings, and they was getting high, back then they used to sniff glue, and smoking opium and weed. And
I remember going through areas of the city where, it wasn't funny, but we used to make a joke about it, that the drug addict never fell.
Right.
They would lean almost to the point where they would touch the ground, but never touch the ground and never fell. And we used to think, gee whiz, that's a survivor.
Yes. Yeah, really. You can ride around the block and come back in the same position.
Right. Amazing. And I mean, you've seldom heard of us committing suicide.
Yes.
Right.
Because we wouldn't take a gun and put it to our heads, or
really
take but it was a slow type.
Yes.
But at the same time, that kind of slow type meant that you had a strong survival instinct.
Yes.
And you wanted to come back.
Right.
Yes.
So, and obviously, you did.
Yes.
Yeah.
You did, because as I said, you've had some challenges in your life. You said incarceration and drugs, but look at you now.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
This is great, and I'm just delighted to have you here on the show. This is wonderful.
Thanks for having me.
Laura, let's talk to you. Let's see what's going on with you. Welcome to the show. I know that you're originally from New Jersey.
Yes.
And how long was it before you, by the way, you graduated from the program?
Yes.
Definitely congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, you're a current participant in the program. And how did you find out about ReFocus?
My brother had went to a program in Connecticut for men, and I was feeling down in the dumps and I needed help because I tried to kill myself twice since the end of last year. And I told him I needed help, and he gave me the men's program, and the men's program gave me ReFocus.
Now, you were in New Jersey, but you moved to Connecticut and found out about the program.
No, I was still in Jersey.
Oh, you were still in Jersey?
Yes, I came from Jersey to ReFocus.
Now, wasn't there any program like that in Jersey?
Not if you don't have insurance.
Really? So you're not an insurance-based program?
No.
You're strictly contributions?
Contributions, yes.
Okay, we're going to ask for some at the end of the show, but please.
Yes.
So you found ReFocus where you didn't have to have insurance. You just had somebody had a hand out to help you.
Yes.
Yeah? Your hand.
Yes.
Yes.
So what was some of the things that drove you, or was there some turning point that made you realize, okay, enough, I've got to do something, or was it other people pushing you to do something, or a combination of both?
Well, I've been using scent for 33 years.
Oh, stop.
Since I was 13.
How do you stop after 33 years? Do you know how impossible that seems to be?
Well, like I said, I tried to kill myself twice.
But you didn't succeed.
No. God
So you
had a
didn't really
purpose
want to
for me.
go. I mean, look at it. Look at it that way.
But God saw it differently.
Oh my gosh. Okay, because as I said, you're here sitting
And then
with
I
beautiful
also,
jewelry on.
thank you. I also was diagnosed with the virus 20 years ago.
Incredible. Now, you're a grandmother?
Yes, I have 2 grandchildren, a grandson and a granddaughter, and 4
Oh.
children.
Oh, that's really something. And in going through the program, how long have you been in the program now?
2.5 months.
Really?
Don't she look beautiful?
I'm amazed.
Yes.
And what kind of shape were you in when you first walked through the door?
I was terrible. I was weighing 102 pounds.
Oh, gee. Well, you could have been a model.
I was mentally, I was mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually just dead. I was walking dead.
Well, you're not now.
No, I feel great.
Okay, and I look forward to you coming back to show us more progress of what you've been able to accomplish, because I know that you write, and I want to have you read something for us
Yes.
before we end the show.
Returning
Okay.
as
So-
a graduate. She'll return as a graduate from ReFocus.
Good idea. Excellent. Okay, that's a deal. Yeah?
Yes.
Now, how long does it usually take to graduate? Or
It
is
used to up
that,
to 18 months.
and you can support your participants for that long a period of time?
Well, with the help of God and our funders, people that offer donations, we can.
Okay.
You know, but we try
All
our
right.
best.
Okay, we'll come
Yeah.
back to that. Well, this is something that's really incredible for me, that this young woman sitting here, which I
Wonderful.
cannot believe that, we've known each other for 20 years?
Yes.
Incredible. Thank you so much for making this introduction.
Yes.
This is really
Yeah.
great.
It's
Now, I know
awesome
that
doing.
you are originally from Connecticut.
Yes.
Yeah, Connecticut's always been your home. Because I remember that you and your mother and I used to go to flea markets
Yes.
looking for
Yes.
stuff. Yeah,
See?
yeah. So I'm just so delighted to have you here on the show. It's really great, and you look terrific after all these years that we're not even going to say how many. We'll just keep piling on the makeup.
And thank you for,
That's what I do. And getting the
you for
Botox
having me.
injections.
See?
So, I mean, we've had many life-changing experiences ourselves.
Yes.
So, but that's a whole nother show. So we're not going to go into that now. But how long have you been associated with ReFocus?
For a little over 2 months, 2 months and 2.5 months.
Now, 2.5. Oh,
Yes.
so it's recent for you as well.
Yes.
And share some of your background with us, Wyteria. What were you doing before you got to the point where you became involved with ReFocus?
Originally, I was working.
And the old lady can't hear, so come on.
Originally, I was working in financial services, and I actually worked here in Manhattan for 14 years.
Well, we met at Equitable Life Insurance.
Yes.
When I was with, I think, the research service LexisNexis.
Yes, that's
And you were a
correct.
librarian
Yes.
at Equitable.
Yes, and
Which
research
became
analyst.
AXA.
Yes.
Yeah. And we
Yes.
struck it off right away. It was
Yes.
just, that was a lot of fun. We had some good lunches.
Yes.
And so what, you were with, after that, you became a financial advisor,
Yeah.
and you went to TIAA CREF?
Yes.
Now, you were advising teachers on,
Yes, the medical community, research, art and cultural community, higher
Mm-hmm,
education, various sectors of the population.
oh, well, that's terrific. And now you're with ReFocus and doing communications,
Yes.
Yes.
helping with fundraising.
Fundraising.
Yes.
Ah, that's great. That is really wonderful. And
Yes.
again, this has to happen again, so that, because I really think it would be nice to follow the progress. I mean, we're kind of late in the game where your
Yes.
organization is concerned, but certainly we can continue now to
Yes.
let our viewing audience know of the existence
Yes.
of an organization like yours. So, how do women come mostly to learn about your organization?
Through, as you said, referrals from other shelters.
Do you work a
Other
lot with
programs.
shelters?
It's a lot of times because a shelter is a shelter. It's It's not a program.
Doesn't have a good reputation.
Right, like even like jail, you don't get reformed in jail. You know, ReFocus is a transitional
You get more
program that
deformed.
walk you
Right.
that walk you through the process of you entering back into society. You know, productive.
And what have you found at what point that women need help?
Just reclaiming themselves. You know,
Trying to get
getting
back
their
their
mind
self-esteem.
renewed, their self-esteem. You know, just building them up to believe in themselves again.
Yeah,
you
which
know?
reminds me, we have something that I'd like you to read
Yes.
for us. So if you could just give us a quick reading of something that you've written. And we don't have a lot of time, so I'd like you to not go fast forward, but read it fast.
Speak.
Dear Abandonment, I pray this letter reaches you wherever you are or whoever you have yourself attached to. I just would like to let you know that you have had me feeling a certain kind of way for years, but I am here to let you know I release you to the universe. You also taught me how to accept verbal and physical abuse, because if I didn't take it, you would leave me and I would feel like what could I have done differently, so they would have stayed or not treated me that way, when at the end of the day, I didn't deserve it. I'm giving you notice that I accepted God as my personal Savior, and that by His stripes I am healed, and that I am more than a conqueror. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. So just know your time has expired, and I'm feeling good about my situation. I'm feeling good about myself. So goodbye. I don't hate to see you go. So be gone. Don't ever want to feel you again, ever in my life. Sincerely and very truly yours, Laura.
Oh, beautiful.
That is so
I love that. I love it. I
Awesome.
love it. That you've got to write a book.
Yeah. She do. She's a writer.
Absolutely, you have to. And I mean, believe it or not, we're out of time. So I
Okay.
thank you all so much for being here.
Yes.
As I said, we have to do this again.
Yes,
Because
yes.
this has really been inspiring. It's been enlightening.
You still help people all over the world.
Yeah, right.
Yes.
And there's so much more to learn. So
Yes.
I'd like to say thank you to Sheila Berry and to Channing Tyner and to Zachy Starman and to Corey for helping us to put on this show, and of course a very special thanks also to Rich of Manhattan Neighborhood Network for helping us to make this show possible. Just remember, there is help out there. You just have to seek it out, and this is one of the organizations that you can contact.
Yes.
What's your website?
ReFocus. ReFocus US at Martha Melvin at ReFocusUS.org.
Okay, and it'll be in the credits.
Yes.
It'll definitely be in the credits, and of course you can contact me if you
Yes.
want more information. So you've been watching Minding Your Business, the show, which really brings very interesting guests to the public.
Yes.
And I appreciate you watching. I'm your host, June Middleton. You have to join us again.